Welcome to another episode of AWS Cloud Bytes. I'm your host Bhavesh Kumar. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and click the notification bell icon for future updates. Let's talk about some updates in the AWS world.
Let's look at the top headlines. AWS Step Functions now support service integration with Amazon EventBridge. So if you have worked with the AWS Step Functions, you will find that it has support for AWS Lambda, SNS, and DynamoDB in other services. But AWS Lambda now supports service integration with Amazon EventBridge, which is positive news. It allows you to send custom events from your step function workflows to an EventBridge event bus without writing any kind of a custom code. EventBridge, basically, if you have worked with any kind of enterprise service bus, EventBridge is a serverless event bus that allows you to create scalable and event-driven applications. It helps you simplifying communication between different components, microservices, SaaS applications, etc. There is no additional fee for using this particular integration. You pay for custom event published on Event Bus, and the existing Event Bus pricing is what is applied. Let's move to the next news. Amazon RDS Data API now supports FIPS 140-2 validated endpoints. Now, if you have ever worked with any standard, FIPS is basically Federal Information Processing Standard. FIPS 140-2 is a US and Canadian government standard for the security requirements for cryptographic modules to protect any kind of sensitive information. So FIPS 140-2 validated endpoints for Data API, they are available both in the CLI as well as API calls. Moving on to the next, Amazon Transcribe Medical now provides automatic protected health information, which is PHI, identification for batch processing. Amazon Transcribe Medical is a HIPAA eligible. HIPAA is a medical standard over here in US. HIPAA eligible automatic speech recognition or ASR service that makes it easy for developers to add speech-to-text capabilities to healthcare and life sciences applications. It also supports automatic identification of PHI information, which is protected health information, in your medical transcription feature for batch processing. The common use cases for Amazon Transcribe Medical includes helping clinical transcribe with their patient notes to enhance overall clinical documentation efficiency, converting recorded calls into text for drug safety monitoring, or subtitling for telehealth sessions. Moving on to the next news. Amazon Elasticsearch announces a newer, lower-cost storage tier. So anybody who has been working on Elasticsearch will be pretty happy with this news that just released on 14th of May. It now supports cold storages, fully managed storage tier, which is really good to have. I've been working on Elasticsearch for maybe 7 or 8 years now. This option, this is going to save a lot of money because if I'm not using an index, it doesn't need to stay in a hot tier or real-time tier. So using this, basically you can automatically manage the storage tier. Now, it analyzes infrequently used data on demand and put things that are not used so frequently in different kind of storage tiers. You have a selection of hot, ultra warm, or cold storage option to choose from. It all depends upon your data retention, query latency, budgeting requirements, etc. Cold storages allow you to detach historical or infrequently accessed data and helps significantly reduce your data cost. It's a pretty good service. I am really happy with this feature. Moving on to the next headline. Amazon Athena adds built-in support for cross-account AWS Glue catalogs. Now, this is a really good integration. If you are an AWS architect I recently got some data lake requirement where we have to share data between multiple accounts. For serving a data lake, you can do that using a transit gateway between multiple AWS accounts, or you can put the data inside S3 bucket and allow them to be shared by a different account. But this edition has brought in some additional options that we can leverage, where Amazon Athena can now query database and table across AWS account through the built-in support for AWS Glue data catalogs in other accounts. Any customer who needs like a central data catalog to enable any kind of analysis, or data scientists to access their data lake without having the complexity of replicating that data in individual AWS account. So they can just use this service where they can refer to an AWS Glue data catalogs from a different account and use that in their Amazon Athena. It's a pretty good feature that they have added on May 12th, 2021. Moving on to the next headline. So the next headline is Amazon RDS for SQL Server supports managed disaster recovery with Amazon RDS cross-region automated backups. So if you are using some kind of Amazon RDS like SQL Server or PostgreSQL, at least for SQL Server, we have received this good feature on May 10th. This feature extends the existing RDS backup functionality, giving the ability to set up automated replication of system snapshots and transaction logs from the primary AWS region to the secondary AWS region. Now, the AWS Amazon RDS cross-region automated backup feature enables disaster recovery, which is a common requirement of most of the enterprise applications where you want your system to be able to function even after there is a region failure. So in those kind of mission critical databases, you would like to have an ability to restore your databases, or if it is an active scenario, sync your databases. So in this case, it is primarily active passive scenario where you have a primary region running, and then you can have a secondary region, which is your DR, and you have this cross-region replication happening through automated backups, and which supports quick restore and running from the DR region. So pretty good service. Amazon RDS for SQL Server supports this feature only for SQL Server 2014 and later. And primarily, I believe it is available. This feature is available in most of the region. The last news headline from today is distributed load testing version 1.3. This news is coming from the distributed load testing on AWS. The distributed load testing on AWS helps you simulate thousands of users connecting to your application so that you can have better understanding about your application performance under load. The solution launches and configures container on AWS Fargate to generate a specified number of transactions per second without having two provisioned servers. This update adds the ability to run multiple tests at once, with each test having its own CloudWatch dashboard with near real-time metrics. The release also increases the task limit to 1,000, moving the concurrent user limit and the ability to schedule tests. Additionally, test execution now waits until all tasks are up and running before starting. So it's a pretty good addition in version 1.3 for the distributed load testing. If you have done distributed load testing, you would imagine the task execution waiting until all the tasks are ready to start execution in a distributed fashion is very important, because then it counts to your overall performance metrics that you're going to collect. So this is a good addition. Also increase in number of tasks that you can run concurrently. Removal of concurrent user limit is again a very good thing that they have added to this particular release, because this allows you to simulate a larger number of concurrent users and see what kind of load, what kind of transaction or deadlocks are happening in the system, how the system is performing under um, a larger number of concurrent users, and what kind of load that number of users are preparing. So you need to get those kind of threshold numbers, allowing you to certify that the system can hold this number of, or build a benchmark for your system.
This is the end of the show. Thank you for watching. If you liked the content, please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for future updates. This is your host Bhavesh Kumar signing off. Thank you.